President Trump is heading to Miami, where he is expected to deliver a speech on U.S. relations with Cuba and reverse some of President Obama's policies, imposing restrictions on travel and trade. And the Senate is sending a strong message to Russia, voting 98-2 to impose new sanctions for its meddling in the election. This as the president blasts the Russian investigation, calling it, quote, a witch hunt. Amid reports, the special counsel is examining whether he obstructed justice. Our senior White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega, has more details for us. Good morning, Cecilia.
Hey, Robin, good morning to you. News that the president himself is being investigated for possible obstruction of justice has set him off. He is on a Twitter tirade. The president took to Twitter, lashing out at the Washington Post report that he is now the subject of special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into possible obstruction of justice. The president calling it a phony story and the single greatest witch hunt in American political history, led by some very bad and conflicted people. But now another twist. The Post reporting that as part of the Russia probe, Mueller is also investigating the finances and business dealings of Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law. Kushner's lawyer telling ABC News, "We do not know what this report refers to." Mr. Kushner previously volunteered to share with Congress what he knows about Russia-related matters. He will do the same if he is contacted in connection with any other inquiry.
Mr. President, do you believe that you are under investigation now?
No comment from President Trump. Instead, he called for unity in the wake of this week's shooting.
It's more important than ever to help each other, care for each other, and remind each other that we are all united.
But less than 5 hours later, he was back on the attack, this time going after Democrats and his old opponent. Why, he wrote, is that Hillary Clinton's family and Dems dealing with Russia are not looked at, but my non-dealings are. A far cry from his plea issued just hours earlier in the name of his friend Steve Scalise, that injured congressman now fighting for his life. And this morning, President Trump heads to Miami, where he's expected to announce his new Cuba policy. This means rolling back a number of changes that the Obama administration had put into place. Fewer Americans will be allowed to travel to the island. If they go, David, they'll have to go as part of an organized tour group. That's a big change.
And I know you'll be covering it throughout the day, Cecilia. We'll see you on World News Tonight.
A bombshell development in special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. The Washington Post reporting that Mueller is now investigating President Trump for possible obstruction of justice. The president's firing of FBI Director James Comey propelling the expansion of the probe.
When I decided to just do it, I said to myself, I said, you know, this Russia thing with Trump and Russia is a made-up story.
There's no doubt that it's a fair judgment, it's my judgment, that I was fired because of the Russia investigation.
This development coming after Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein suggested Tuesday the special counsel may be looking into Comey's firing.
I can assure you that if Director Mueller believes that that is relevant to his investigation, he has full authority to investigate that and to make any appropriate findings.
Sources tell CNN Mueller is planning to interview several of the nation's top intelligence chiefs, including Director of National Intelligence Dan Coats, NSA Director Mike Rogers, and Rogers' former deputy Richard Leggett. Sources say Leggett wrote a memo documenting a conversation in which President Trump reportedly urged Rogers to encourage the FBI to lift the cloud of the Russia investigation. Neither Rogers nor Coats would discuss their conversations with the president in a Senate hearing last week.
Why are you not answering
Because
our
I feel
questions?
it is inappropriate.
I'm not sure I have a legal basis.
Although Coats did make this comment about his 3+ year career as head of the NSA.
I have never felt pressure to intervene or interfere in any way and shaping intelligence in a political way or in relationship to an ongoing investigation.
President Trump's personal attorney, in a statement last night, did not deny that the president is under investigation, instead focusing on leakers, writing, "The FBI leak of information regarding the president is outrageous, inexcusable, and illegal." This statement is identical to a bullet list of talking points issued by the Republican Party, obtained by CNN. President Trump has already expressed his willingness to talk to Mueller.
Would you be willing to speak under oath to give your version of those events?
100%.